Hello and welcome to another Royal Reviewer live pop-up video. And oh my goodness, we have some hot news. The Queen is wearing black for Daywear. This is unheard of. What is going on? Drama alert. My goodness. So for those of you who have been following the Queen's fashion for a long time, or those of you, or rather, that haven't been following the Queen's fashion for a long time, the Queen pretty much always wears block colours for engagements, or, you know, she has been known to wear lots of florals for kind of like day engagements at the palace. Some of them have been kind of like on white material, like kind of white florals, you know, yellow florals, that kind of thing. But never have I seen florals on a black background of material for a dress. The Queen is wearing black for an engagement. What is going on at the palace? I do not know. Is the Queen in mourning for something? Has something died? Has something passed? Has a horse gone? Has a dog gone? I don't know what is going on at the palace. So I am going to go straight to the chat room to see who's about and who can comment, who is around. Let me see. Right, I can just about see the chat. For some reason my screen has gone a bit different. It might help if I actually popped out the chat. There we go. Right, I can see everyone now. Let's set it onto live chat. Yes, it is. It's hot news, says HN the King. Elizabeth Regina says, black isn't just for mourners anymore. The Queen should... Yes, well, first of all, I would say that, yes, the Queen does indeed look chic in the black. But nevertheless, it is fairly unusual. So if you want to see the Queen wearing black, go to Twitter and go to the Royal Family account. So I'll post the link here. Let me just find where I popped out the chat. Where has it gone? Where's the chat? Here it is. So I'm going to post the link in here. And if you scroll down a little bit, you will see some engagements with the Queen. So I'm going to read all about those now. So first of all, I'll skip back to yesterday. So the Queen did have some engagements yesterday. So the Queen received an audience with the High Commissioner for Grenada in London, Her Excellency Lakeisha Grant. The Duke of Cambridge also received the President of the Republic of the Seychelles on behalf of the Queen at Buckingham Palace. So there's some nice photos. And if you see what I mean, you can see the example about the kind of florals that she wears for her day wear, but they're normally on a kind of a light coloured background. So there's an example of that. And by the way, I would like to say both ladies look lovely in that photograph. They really, really do. And also, if you can actually see it on this photograph. I'll address this now whilst I'm here. You can see on the table where all the photographs are, and on that one table there was a photograph of Harry and Meghan, which now appears to have gone. And I can't see if it's been moved onto the other side table, because the lady is obviously blocking one of the tables. So I don't know if it's just had a bit of a move around, or whether it's gone for some reason. Some people... I did read some articles where some people have suggested maybe it's the Queen's way of kind of, by symbolism, giving Harry and Meghan some privacy. So it could actually be a kind of symbol of support for Harry and Meghan, with, of course, all what they've gone through. By removing the photograph, it's almost like, well, we're going to give them some private time. I don't know. I'm sure some people could also see it as... the Queen's angry, therefore she's taken away the photograph and chucked it in the moat. But no, I don't think the Queen would do that. I think the Queen does work. Sometimes what she can't say verbally, she can show through symbolism, such as the colours of clothes, or, you know, the style, or embellishments, jewellery. But also symbolism with the things that surround her. So perhaps, I think that she may have had the photo removed, if it's not been... I mean, it may have just been moved around the room. These photographs are, you know, changing all the time. But I think that it's possibly been removed to kind of show a bit of support for Harry and Meghan, you know, trying to say, well, maybe everyone should give them a little bit of private time. So that's my kind of thoughts on that one. But, you know, who knows? I mean, you know, no one knows for sure. Anyway, go up a little bit and you can see. By the way, I'll post a link again for those of you just joining. So I'm on the Royal Family Twitter. And if you scroll down, you can see the photographs of what I'm looking at. So I'm going to pull up these. So today, this morning, the Queen received an audience with His Excellency Mr. Phongspha Sisulaf. Now, I probably completely butchered that name, but there we go. I do apologise in advance. Who presented his letters of credence as ambassador for the Lao People's Democratic Republic. Mrs. Sisulaf was also received by Her Majesty. Now, I'm going to see if I can... yes, this is the photograph where she's wearing black. So, it's floral. I will say it's still floral, so it's still got nice bright colours. But we don't often see the Queen wearing black. Now, she's accessorising with her lovely pearls. And there is one design... It's kind of birds. It's kind of birds and flowers. And I can see, if you zoom in, can you spot the owl? It's a bit like Where's Wally or Where's Waldo, if you're in America or anywhere of that type of region. Yes, it's Where's Wally in the UK and Where's Waldo elsewhere. So, can you spot the owl? There's a beautiful owl poking out, and it's a beautiful dress, but we don't often see the Queen wearing a kind of black-based dress. She looks chic. She looks stunning. She looks like a goddess. The black kind of almost makes her hair even more sparkly. But there she is, and in black. What do we all think? Do we like the Queen in black? Would you like to see the Queen wearing more black with sort of patterns on, that kind of thing? I'm just going to go up and see what people are saying, because I know I've spoken at you for quite a while. Yes, HM the King compliments her white locks. Just what I said, it does indeed. DHT says, hi Elliot, will they say she's breaking protocol? Nobody can say that the Queen breaks protocol. The Queen sets protocol. There we go. Linda says, hello from Dallas. My best wishes to the Queen. Carol Williams says, the Meghan effect. Well, Meghan is known for wearing black, isn't she? See what I mean? The Queen works in symbolism, and sometimes we don't know exactly what it is. It's almost a little bit like riddles. So, the removal of the photograph of Harry and Meghan could be in support for privacy. The wearing of a black-based dress, one of Meghan's favourite colours. Is that in solidarity with Meghan? We don't know. We can only wonder, and we can only speculate. That's all we actually have at the moment. Mrs. Ping says, oh my goodness, this should be, as HM the King said to me in private, this should be breaking news all over the world, because the Queen hardly ever, well, apart from like when she's in mourning or attending funerals, maybe even in private she might wear black, but in terms of actual engagements, I mean, I kind of spoken, I had a little private chat. I said, well, I can't remember a time where she's worn black to a day engagement. HM the King can't remember either. So we think that she hasn't. We think that publicly, I don't think she has. Unless anybody who has longer memories than me can remember a time where they've seen a photograph of the Queen at a day engagement wearing black that's not for like mourning or anything like that. Can we all put our heads together and see if we can find the answer? Because I think this is most unusual. Live, Love and Laugh says, we can all wonder. I bet the tabloids and media will create some narrative for us. I'm sure they will. I'm sure some of these YouTube channels will. I'm sure that the fact that the Meghan and Harry photograph has gone means that the Queen has kicked Meghan out of the castle, and she's now living in the corgi house somewhere. Yes, and Harry's been sent to the Tower for speaking out. I'm sure you know they're going to be doing stuff like that, and I will confirm that what I've just said is not true. I'll give myself a black fan flap. We don't want any rumours, do we? Right. Elizabeth Regina says, no, they're not losing their time. Oh, yes. There was more speculation, wasn't there, about, I think it was Victoria Arbiter gave an interview saying that if Harry and Meghan wanted to go and live abroad, that they would have to renounce their titles in order to do so. Which, I mean, okay, let's just speculate for a moment. So let's just say that Harry and Meghan were to decide that they wanted to become private people and live abroad. Technically, they do not have to renounce any titles to do so. All they would have to do is literally just not receive any public funding, in terms of obviously funding via the Queen and Prince Charles at present. So a little bit like, I suppose, the Duke and Duchess of Windsor. They did the Duke did work for a time overseas, and then effectively they retired, but they ceased receiving any funds, any official funds. So there is precedent for, if you do want to kind of, I mean, okay, I know he was kind of almost forced out and pushed out, but so it's slightly different in that respect. But you do not have to renounce your title to kind of live a private life. All that he would have to do is just renounce any funding. I suppose a little bit like Princess Eugenie and Beatrice. They don't, Zara and Peter. They don't receive any funding. Okay, maybe not Zara and Peter because they don't have titles, but Beatrice and Eugenie most definitely. They could technically just retire, and I mean, okay, they're not receiving public funds now, other than what they receive from Andrew and Sarah indirectly. But yes, they could technically go and live wherever they want in the world, but not have to renounce a title. It would make it a completely clean break if they renounce titles. So, if that is an avenue they want to go down, there are two options: keep your titles and renounce the funding, or renounce the funding and the title. But I don't think that's going to happen. I will say I do not think that will happen. I think that's just fanciful. I think it's just press speculation, fanciful talk, and of course an excuse for certain people to get paid for an interview, if you know what I mean. Patricia says, I saw the photo of the Queen on Instagram. And Fran Meller says, the Queen is a stickler for wearing black only at funerals. What's going on? Well, this is what I'm saying. I don't know. Deb says, yeah, I caught the live. Received my notification. Good. I'm glad notifications are getting out. Nan says, well. Wonders never cease. Indeed. And we do not know why. The Queen... I mean, maybe she just woke up and fancied wearing black. I don't know. Elizabeth Regina says maybe she rotates. Yes, I mean there is a lot of photo changes that go on display. The lineup does change, but what people have latched onto is the fact that the Harry and Meghan one has gone, but the back two are still the same. So, why has the Harry and Meghan one gone, or has it just moved somewhere else in the room that we can't see? That is a possibility as well. Dawn says, hello all, loved Her Majesty's dress, very different for her. She's been changing up her look. She has indeed. And I think I've just skipped down a long way by mistake. Let me see if I can go up again. Right, I think I found it. Lauren says, wow, that dress, it's very different for her usual style. Very nice indeed. Proof positive, you're never too old for fashion. That print is gorgeous. Did you spot the owl? Oh no, I forgot my tiara. Sharona, you're right. Hayden the King says, she's like the Red Arrow, spectacular, dynamic, exciting. She is indeed. With a trail of white fluff from her hair behind her. Yes, she's just like a Red Arrow. Elect Lady says the outfit is gorgeous. It is indeed. Oh, Chibly Meathos found the owl. And he also says the dress is lovely. I like the ruffle. The ruffle at the bottom is everything. It's giving me life. I want ruffles. H.M. the King says the Queen doesn't believe in protocol. She doesn't have a rule book, no. Deirdre says she's getting ready to bury the tabloid press. Oh, it could be. It could be like, I don't know. It could be, couldn't it? Fran says, no tiara, but your hair looks... Yes, it's like a hair... I've always said that I've got a bit of a hair tiara going on. Liv Lumna says, doesn't the Queen... Yes, she does change them. Like I say, people are just latching on to the fact that the back two are still the same. Like there hasn't been a kind of a big switch up, so to speak. So why the Harry... You know what I'm saying. Mathilde says she looks wonderful. She does look wonderful. Laurie says she's lovely as always, but do enjoy her usual colourful outfits more. And Jennifer says, I think it makes the other couple's traditional dress in white stand out more. And Mary says, finally got the notification. Yay! I'm glad you did. Sharona says, for what I said, it's not black but plain. Like Elliot said, maybe she's doing the symbols thing because Meghan does wear black in the colder months. Yes, I mean, one of Meghan's favourite colours that she likes to wear is black. I mean, lots of people have spoken about it. Lots of people have said they want to see Meghan wearing different colours. But she does her look. One of her signature looks in terms of colour is black. We know that, or monochrome, sort of black with white, or the black with the white shirt, that kind of thing. Although we did see her in a beautiful purple, wasn't it? Yes, at the One World event. Yes, and she looked gorgeous, and she got a standing ovation and lots of cheers and clapping. So she was very, very well received. Rhonda says, I like the Queen in black. She looks amazing. Oh, no, I haven't seen anything Wendy Williams has said about Meghan. Yes, maybe she just loved the pattern of the dress. It is a really good floral with owl. DHG says, she looks lovely. I mentioned the protocol as in they wouldn't dare. She may not comment or press stories, but she knows everything that's going... Oh, she does. She knows everything. So maybe she's daring them to comment. It could be a little taunt to the press by the Queen, couldn't it? Fran Mellor says, the Queen has been known to cheekily go against protocol. Helps keep her sane. Well, you've got to get your fun where you can, haven't you? Be a rebel. At 93, be a rebel. Aiton the King says, could possibly be old... Yes, well, to me, I know from reading the Angela Kelly book that the Queen is gifted, often, rolls of fabric. And sometimes they sit for decades untouched until they're made into a creation. I think the Diamond Jubilee material, some of the Diamond Jubilee material for some of her outfits was actually from the 60s or something like that. So she does store fabrics donated and can pull them out at a moment's drop. And Angela, make me a dress. Well, I'm sure she wouldn't quite say it like that, but you know what I mean. So yes, creations are often pulled up from decades old fabric. Rhonda says, I can't imagine the Queen would not be in support and very proud of her grandson. I completely agree. Constance says, black looks lovely on the Queen for whatever reason she is wearing it. And Matilda says, I think that she's wearing black because she is sad for what has been happening to her grandchildren. It could be. Who knows? Hi to Scott Goff. And Nancy D says, HM always looks fabulous, whatever she wears. I understand she wears a bright colour so she can be spotted quickly. With black, can work well because of her beautiful hair. Oh, it sets the hair off and the pearls magnificently. Scott Goff says, black should be worn at all times. I knew you'd say that one. KTS says, yes, the Queen looks lovely in her black dress with light flowers. It emphasises her lovely hair. I love the fact that the Queen silently lets her feelings be known by the clothes and jewels she wears. Indeed. I mean, I did also, because obviously it was an engagement with Ethiopia, so I did look to see in the news what's going on with Ethiopia. Is there something that she could be wearing black for? And the thing that I did find, there's something going on with a dam. There's trouble over a dam, but I don't think the Queen would wear black because they're having trouble over a dam. So no, there wasn't, for example, like a high-profile death in the country that she could be wearing black for. So I did check to see if it was anything to do with Ethiopia itself, and I couldn't find anything unless you can, but I couldn't find anything. Sharona says, oh wow, well isn't black as in plain black? So maybe the Queen is taking a leaf out of Meghan's book as she likes wearing black in the colder months. Maybe. Rhonda says, America would welcome Meghan and Harry with open arms. I'm sure many countries would. And lots of people obviously talking about the Queen. So I'm going to move down. Yes, maybe she's starting a new trend for herself. Adrian the King says, Angela darling, I need an owl on my hip by Wednesday. Well, actually, think about it. In terms of symbolism, owls are known as the sort of, you know, a wise creature, and they have you know, the big eyes looking out. It could be, I don't know, maybe she's kind of setting herself up as the wise old owl that can give advice to people. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Yes, long live the Queen. And Terry Turner says, perhaps the Majesty is mourning for the country. Who knows? Who knows what's going on? Right, I'm going to move on from the Queen's black dress because I have something else I want to talk about. And that is the Prince of Wales has, in recent days, been in Tokyo for Royal Visit Japan. And it's for the ceremony of enthronement of Emperor Naruhito. And if you go to the Clarence House Twitter, there is a few photos and videos and that kind of thing. So I will post the link to the Clarence House Twitter here. And you can, of course, go and check what I'm following. So you'll need to scroll down quite a way. But you get to the first photograph of, obviously, Charles. And he's looking rather regal, I have to say. And I know HM the King has pointed out how much Charles is looking these days like Philip. And I have to say, I agree. And I also agree on the eyes. I think he has the Queen's eyes. But definitely, and I'm not quite sure whose ears Charles has got. I don't think Philip's got the ears. But anyway, facially, apart from the eyes, I think that Charles is looking a lot like Philip at that age. So yes, but he looks really good. He's in his formal attire, and he looks very, very well indeed. So he toured a Japanese garden and a museum. Obviously, you can take time to read that more yourselves. Then there's a bit on Camilla, which I will just skip past really quickly. And then it goes to 17 hours ago, where it says, last night, the Prince of Wales attended the court banquet at the Imperial Palace in Tokyo. The banquet marked Emperor Naruhito's first official engagement following the enthronement. His Royal Highness met the Emperor and Empress on arrival. And I'm going to click on that photo, which was posted by UK in Japan. And I'm going to zoom in because I want to see that tiara. Let me get a better look at that tiara. So, ooh, what's happened to my... Hang on a second. What's going on? My computer just lost the photo. Where's it gone? I want to see this photo. Right, I'm going up again. Here it is. For some reason it zoomed me off and then put me on something else entirely. Now, that tiara is stunning. I like the spiky tiaras. And that one is gorgeous. I have no idea what it's called. But it is gorgeous. She looks radiant in it. And she's got some beautiful diamond bangles on as well, which I think are really, really good. Let me scoot up again. For some reason, strange things are happening with my pictures. And then is that it for it? I think no. Hang on. So let me go down again. So now this is where I'm going to get a little bit tongue-tied because it's Chichi Bonamia. I think I said that correctly. I don't know. The semi-final training venue for the Welsh Rugby Union. The Prince of Wales meets team captain Alan Wynne-Jones. And there's a little short video on that. Then His Royal Highness chats to the team who are taking part in a training session ahead of their next match. And of course, this is all still on Royal Visit Japan. So before the Prince departed, he had a photograph with the team. And then he moved on to Harumi Pier, where the Prince of Wales boards the HMS Enterprise, a Royal Navy ship, and meets the crew. And there's some photographs there too. While on the Enterprise, it sounds like Star Trek, doesn't it? The Prince hears about... Beam me up, Your Majesty. The Prince hears about the work being done to combat plastics in the ocean and climate change, meeting senior figures from the Japan Climate Leaders Partnership. Visiting... how am I going to say this? Zojoey. I butchered it, I know. I do apologise for all the Japanese people out there that may be watching this video. I apologise profusely. But you know what I'm saying. It's a temple in Tokyo. The Prince of Wales is met by Yagi Daika, the head monk of Zojoey. Zojoey? It's going to bring out my stammer. And he is one of the headquarters of the Jodo tradition of Japanese Buddhism. Then he went to a Mitsukoshi department store. The Prince of Wales visits... oh, there's a Fortnum's there. Cafe and shop, saying hello to shoppers along the way. Fortnum's and Mason's, obviously, tea. Famous tea shop. The Food is Great campaign was launched in April by UK in Japan and has been running throughout the Rugby World Cup. And there's a short video on that too. Now this one. Today, the Prince of Wales visited this extraordinary 1/10 scale replica of the Taito-Kuin Mausoleum in Tokyo. The original temple was built for Shogun Tokugawa Hidetada. Yeah, I can't say that. I do apologise profusely. Who died in 1632. I don't think anybody will be alive who will tell me off for that. And there we go. There's some information on that. So, barring my appalling pronunciations, I want to go to the chat room and see what people are saying. Oh, apparently it's Zujuji. Zujuji? Zujuji. There we go. Nancy says, I wish Her Royal Highness could talk to the Japanese government about dolphins. Oh, His Royal Highness about dolphins in Taji. I'm not sure what's going on with the dolphins there, but are they being killed? I'm not quite sure. Let me go up a little bit, because I know I was talking about that for a while. Flosslong Payne talking about the owl. A wise old owl sat in an oak. The more he heard, the less he spoke. The less he spoke, the more he heard. Why can't we be like that wise old bird? Just like the Queen. Mary Brunn says, I'm so amazed that the Queen is still so active mentally as well as physically. I know she's slowed down, but still. Because she's a goddess, of course. Hannah says, the Queen must always have a black outfit packed in her luggage while travelling abroad. Yes, in case there's a death. But obviously she's ceased with overseas travel at the moment. But yes, while she was, they did. And it's probably something all the others do as well, because you would need to, just in case. Sharon has a black dress. The colour makes you look nice. I'm looking forward to the new series of The Crown. Yes, and I did see the trailer. And it was really, really good. I mean, when I look at Olivia Colman as the Queen, sometimes I can see the Queen. Sometimes I can still see Olivia Colman. So I need to see more of it. Yeah, so it looks good. I mean, it looks really, really good. The trailer was very dramatic. So, I can't wait to see it. I've been eagerly awaiting it. Has it been 2 years? Has it been really been 2 years since the last one? But I know that they're filming season 4 right now, and the Diana looks exact. They have cast Diana perfectly. They really, really have. So series 4 looks to be even better. Hayden the King says, the Queen stole the ears from Mr. Potato Head in toy stores when she was making Charles. And maybe she did. Thank goodness it wasn't the nose. Juliet says, sorry I'm being disagreeable today. Probably didn't sleep well, but I think even at 98 years old, Prince Philip looks tons better than Charles. Debatable. Mary says, on the Ellen show, Nasho, what's his name? Oh, I know who you mean. Admitted he is the one who set up Harry and Meghan. Did anyone see that? I think I've heard that before, that it was him. I think. I'm sure I've heard that before. Oh, and the cushion. Yes. Okay, the cushion. So, Charles stood up today, and there was a cushion. And we know that Charles loves his cushion. Not because he just loves cushions, but because he has had lower back pain from his polo playing days for decades now. So he always ensures that he has a little cushion in his cars, on his seats, dinner tables. He has a cushion taken with him. So he would have requested a cushion on his seat, and there it was. When he stood up, there was a cushion. So kind of like a golden kind of cushion. So yes, he is still carrying that cushion around. Casting Diana for what? No, in The Crown, the casting of Diana, because Diana comes into it in series 4. So the casting of Diana is perfect. She looks exact. Exact. Will the Queen have her knee op? Well, to be honest, I've not even heard that she needed one, so I'm not even sure if it's true, to be quite honest. H.M. the King says he does love cushions. He's always had one since he was a child. Well, there's a difference between liking them and actually needing them. And I think for decades, because of the polo playing, he has needed a cushion to support that lumbar region in the lower back. Am I watching the Duchy documentary tomorrow? Yes, of course. Mary Brunt says, saw the actress playing Diana side by side with the real Diana. They look a lot alike. They do indeed. H.M. the King says, in the old family footage of Balmoral in 1954, you can see Charles in the toy car with a cushion. Maybe he just loves cushions. You know, who doesn't? Who doesn't just love a cushion? I want to know, what is your favourite item that you ensure that you've got wherever you go? What is it? It could be anything. It could be something you carry in your pocket. But which item do you insist you have wherever you go? I want to know. Yes, the Jap. Oh, did you see the princesses? Yes, the outfits are incredible. Is it November the 19th it comes out, I think? Was it the 19th? I'm sure it may be the 19th. Nancy D says, I adore Olivia and can't wait for the crown. Me neither. I don't like to binge watch. I like to kind of watch like one a day just to make it last longer. November the 17th. Correction, it's the 17th. 17th. What's my favourite? Okay, favourite item that... well, the one that I take everywhere with me has got to be my Lipsol. Although I don't have Lipsol anymore, I have Elizabeth Arden. That 24-hour one. It's really, really good. So I always ensure that I take my Elizabeth Arden with me wherever I go. Lip balm. For kissable, soft lips. Why no tiara tonight? Because I forgot it. That is why. Lots of people agreeing they're never without their lip balm. Matilda says, my little pillow that I have had since I was 3. Well, you're just like Charles. This vagina says Xanax. That's a good one, and I can quite believe it's true. Vanilla says, I'd imagine the Queen wearing an elaborate kimono. Ooh, now that would be a look. That would be something. Diane says, hi Elliot, finally got on, and you really miss you live. You really miss me live, rather. Terry takes him wherever he goes. And H.M. the King says, I always make sure to take my holiday brochures everywhere I go, especially for one for the QE2. Yes. Have you seen my holiday brochures? Mary Brunn says, what does the Queen carry on in her purse? Well, we think lipstick, tissues, possibly a phone, maybe a mobile phone, and maybe any speeches or notes on engagements. But yes, just the usual. Maybe a boiled mint, maybe a mint imperial or a boiled sweet. Who knows when you might need to suck on a boiled sweet. A mini bottle of gin and Dubonnet, all mixed up, maybe. So you can have a little tot in the car on the way. Who knows? A few dog treats. Well, who knows? Maybe some sugar lumps for the horses. You know. Queenly things for your queenly handbag. Werther's Originals, maybe. Queen carries a golden handgun, I'm convinced, says H.M. the King. Who knows? Who knows when someone needs popping off by Her Majesty? After eights, maybe there's a few after eights in there. I don't know. Vanilla says the Queen definitely has a Japanese paper fan in her handbag so that she can fan flap the media. Yes, indeed. A hoof pick, perhaps. Who knows? Yes, maybe she pops a little camera in there too. Ellie Poodle says, Mrs. Pilling, yes, I do carry dog bags. Oh yes, we don't want any droppings being left behind, do we? Sweets for the grandchildren, maybe. Right, I am going to go now because it is 9:30 here in the UK and I've not had my tea. So I'm going to do some salmon in herbs and I'm going to wrap it up in some tin foil and I'm going to have some squaffles, which are like squash waffles, and some rice with vegetables. So very, very healthy. It all comes under 400 calories. Yes, the weight will be dropping off even more than it already has. By the way, I think I've lost about £10 now in total. It's dropping off, it really is. Anyway, I'm off. So if anything else happens in the meantime, of course, I will pop on live. If we find out why the Queen has worn black, I will pop on and tell you. So, if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to share it on social media, and also do hit that bell so that you know whenever I upload a new video. So, from me in Shropshire, mwah to you all, and goodbye.